At his lowest point, he ran into his first love again. They had both studied fine arts in college, but after graduation, their lives went in completely different directions. Ozaki had built a name for herself as a painter in the art world. Sonoda was washing windows for a living. The most awkward part was that back when they were together, all Sonoda ever thought about was painting. He never even noticed when Ozaki tried to get closer to him, so when she invited him to her art show, the look on his face said it all. He made up an excuse and got out of there fast. Life wasn't treating him well. 28 years old and nothing to show for it. He lived in a tiny apartment on the outskirts of Tokyo. After work he'd sit in front of his computer eating cheap takeout. Every day was exactly the same. Sometimes he wondered if any of it was even worth it. The next day he showed up at the exhibition anyway. Ozaki wasn't there. He walked through about half the gallery. Her paintings covered the walls. Precise compositions, restrained colors. Every piece had a price tag that wasn't cheap. He stood there for a few minutes, then turned and left. The paintings made him uncomfortable, not because he was jealous, but because they reminded him of everything he had chosen to walk away from. He hadn't come to the show just to look around. A few days earlier he had collapsed on a job site without warning. A coworker got him to the hospital. By the time all the tests were done, every last bit of his savings was gone. He wasn't there to borrow money. A hospital had called to say he needed a family member present to pick up his test results. His parents were back in his hometown. He had no other options, so he asked Ozaki to pretend to be his older sister. The next morning Ozaki arrived at the hospital early. While they waited, she brought up a conversation topic. She mentioned she had won the art prize that Sonoda used to dream about most. She wanted to know what he thought. His response was flat. He said congratulations without looking away from the number screen. That finally got to her. In her eyes, Sonoda had more raw talent than she ever did. If he had just stuck with it, he could have made something of himself. Sonoda said he didn't care about any of that. Ozaki left, clearly disappointed. Sonoda was stuck trying to figure out how to get his results without a real family member. Then a loud argument broke out across the lobby. A teenage girl in a school uniform had cornered a middle-aged man. She was saying he had damaged her uniform. Sonoda walked by and muttered something under his breath. The girl's anger instantly shifted to him. She stepped up to him, chin up, not backing down for a second. Sonoda pulled out his wallet, paid for the damage to her uniform, and threw in an extra 1,000 yen on top of that. In exchange, she would pretend to be his little sister and go with him to see the doctor. The doctor used a lot of medical terminology, but Sonoda only walked away remembering two things: stomach cancer, without treatment, 3 months left to live. On the way out, the girl Maui looked it up on her phone for him. The search results weren't encouraging. Sonoda stood next to his motorcycle and didn't move. He'd always been kind of a mess, but he never imagined his life would end like this.